Hello to all traders tuning in today. We have the unique pleasure of hosting not just one but two incredibly talented professional traders who happen to be from the same family. It's quite rare and exciting to have this opportunity. Please join me in warmly welcoming Roland and Sebastian to our discussion. Sebastian will also be joining us as part of the Fintokei Stars program, so we'll be seeing more insightful content from him in the near future. We thought it would be absolutely fascinating to hold a conversation featuring two traders from different generations within the same family, offering a rare chance to compare experiences across time and styles. Roland, why don't you start by introducing yourself to our audience?
Hi, everyone, and thanks so much for having me here today. My name is Sebastian, and I've been passionate about trading for a few years now, learning and growing every step of the way.
Hi, I'm Roland, Sebastian's dad. I've been trading and learning the markets for over 20 years, going through many ups and downs.
Great. You actually run your own project training traders. Could you tell us a bit about what that involves?
Yes, the project is actually called Forest Traders, and it's something I've been really passionate about for many years now. It's also very much my passion and my baby. This project really tracks my entire journey from the very beginning in 2002 when I first discovered trading. I started documenting everything on my blog, sharing the ups and downs, and over time this naturally evolved. Eventually, it grew into teaching others about my specific trading style and my unique perspective on the markets. Sebastian was around during all of this as he was growing up, so he's been immersed in the world of trading from an early age. From a young age, Sebastian was naturally exposed to Forex through those around him. Over time, this early exposure grew into collaboration, and now we work closely together on our joint project Forest Traders.
Great. So it seems Sebastian probably wasn't going to be a sugar trader in the end. Maybe he was meant to be a pro skier, something we'll talk about a bit more. I'm curious how you split roles in this project.
I'd say we share roles pretty evenly. We both trade individually with somewhat similar styles, but we each approach managing our trades, doing analysis, and handling risk differently. I tend to focus much more on the technical side of things like the data, patterns, and software, while you primarily handle the actual trading execution itself, making the decisions and managing live positions. It's that balance that makes our project work well together.
Since prop firms weren't around when I first started trading many years ago, I only ever traded with my own money. It was really a matter of testing my luck and learning through experience. However, when Sebastiano decided to get into trading and join me in what started as my project, turning it into our joint venture Forest Traders, we began to see prop firms as a great opportunity. He has a bit of a different approach and focuses on fine-tuning the trading style that I initially developed. So now he specializes more in prop firms, while I maintain my style, whether it's with a live account or purely using my personal capital. Whether with a live account or just full personal capital invested on my own.
Primarily, I focus on prop firms and personally coach people.
The main difference lies in the older money management style and stricter risk controls we added, but that comes into play later in the process.
I have a question for Roland. You started trading back in 2002, which is quite a long time ago. There aren't many traders with that much experience. How has trading changed since then? What are the main differences between trading in 2002 and today? It must be very different now. Could you share how the trading landscape has evolved over the years?
Definitely, even the internet options weren't like they are now. Back then, there were just one or two brokers available, even in big markets like America. Over here in Slovakia, education on trading didn't really exist. Everything was handled abroad, and information was very limited and hard to access. You really can't compare those times to today. Now, even if you have your own capital, you had to take big risks back then, which made it much more challenging. But nowadays, the opportunities offered by prop trading firms are huge, and practically anyone, especially students, has a fantastic chance to get involved and start learning this craft. It's amazing to see how accessible it's become.
Exactly, and for relatively little money too. Of course, having enough capital to buy into a prop firm, a student would have to save for ages.
But there's also the mental preparation to consider because it's pretty similar in some ways, even though it's less intense than other aspects. Investing your own money, like putting up your entire capital, but it's not a demo. The difference between a live account with your own funds, a prop firm, and later live accounts, that's where the psychology shifts. Demo trading is a whole different mindset.
Psychology-wise, gentlemen, I'm really curious here. Who do you think is the better trader between Sebastian and his dad?
I'm convinced it's Sebastian.
Do you agree?
Honestly, I'm not completely sure about this. I don't think we can definitively judge who the better trader really is. I focus mostly on prop firms and trying to make consistent progress there. However, I haven't gathered enough live trading experience to fairly compare myself to my son's performance yet. From what I've seen and the way he handles trades, I honestly believe he's the better trader between the two of us. But again, it's hard to make a fully objective comparison without more data.
So from a long-term view, of course, like
Maybe now we're seeing clearer results. If that's what you mean, I'm not sure how else to interpret it, but yeah, that's my take. I don't think you can objectively say who's the better trader. That's how I'd put it.
So, regarding the project and trading, can you tell me when you both actually decided to join forces? Was there a specific moment when Sebastian started trading alongside me, or was it more like he always watched Dad trading and gradually got interested and found it really cool?
Well, naturally, since I spent a lot of time with him, whether playing sports or just being at home together, I started noticing little habits he had, like clicking on candles and things like that. It eventually clicked for me that this team actually makes a living from it, which was fascinating. Over time, I picked up some of the theory too, especially the psychological side behind winning in sports. I was involved with the academy for quite a while, learning and observing. Then, as I began to achieve some results and even make some money, that's when everything really clicked into place. That's when we truly started working closely together, and I officially joined you.
we spent a lot of time together since Sebastian was into sports. I went with him to his training camps and competitions, always supporting him and staying close. He was always part of every call or conversation I had about trading, even if he didn't fully understand what we were discussing or what it was all about. But the turning point came when he began asking his own questions. That's exactly when I caught his genuine curiosity, took the time to guide him patiently, and after that, things just really took off.
Who do you think takes more risks and who plays it safer in your trading?
Well, it's a pretty straightforward answer, actually, because when you trade using your own money compared to using money from proprietary firms, or more precisely, prop firms' money, the difference is quite clear and significant. However, since I follow a very specific trading style that suits me, things tend to play out differently than the usual approach most traders take in this context. Our drawdowns are actually a bit bigger than prop firms allow.
So Roland takes more risks, if I got that right.
I'm not sure if you can call it risk. When you know what you're doing, it doesn't have to be.
Sure.
Once you mentally set it in your mind, it doesn't have to feel risky because you're prepared and confident in what you're doing.
I have one more question for Sebastian. You were a professional skier, which is impressive. How did you balance that intense sports career with trading? Did skiing help you build discipline or mental strength that you now use in trading? Are there any specific skills from skiing that help you in trading today?
Absolutely, I truly believe sports, whether it's skiing, football, tennis, or volleyball, offer incredible benefits overall, not just physically, but mentally as well. Sports teach you so many life lessons. One of the most important is discipline. They also teach you how to handle loss gracefully, which is crucial not only in trading, but in life in general. Life isn't always fair, and especially at the start, you'll face a lot of losses. For example, I've lost several times trading with prop firms, but I didn't let that stop me. I kept pushing forward without giving up. So, maintaining discipline, learning from losses, and then moving forward are absolutely key. I genuinely think sports are one of the best teachers for these essential life lessons, helping you grow stronger and more resilient every day.
That's a huge difference compared to how you asked at the start about how trading looked 20 years ago or even 10 to 15 years back. When it comes to prop money, losing with prop funds is definitely way easier than risking your own cash. Back then, we really didn't have any other option, so unfortunately, we started trading with our own money, meaning any losses hit our capital much harder than they do now. Today, whether you're young or just busy with your daily life, the opportunities to start trading with minimal capital and still make solid money are massive. It truly feels like a game changer in how accessible trading has become. The whole landscape has shifted, making it more inclusive and flexible for everyone trying to earn extra income or even build a career in trading.
That's definitely true. And now let's redirect our focus back to the trading itself. Have you ever faced a situation where you two had completely opposite views on the market? And in such cases, who usually ends up winning the argument or the trade?
It doesn't happen often since our trading styles are similar. When it does, it's usually about timing or entry points, not the market view itself, which is almost the same for both of us. Yeah, there's definitely a difference there. Maybe we see the trade in a similar way, but I might choose to enter a little later or even skip it altogether if it doesn't feel right. For me, this isn't a trade I'd take just because I have to. Mainly, I trade prop firm accounts where the drawdown rules are a bit different, so I really need to fine-tune my entries as much as possible. Sometimes entering later might mean dealing with a bigger drawdown, but it fits my strategy better over the long run.
I use a different method when adding to or scaling into a trade. I expect it might move against me sometimes, and I'm okay with that, but he has to handle it differently. We definitely discuss various scenarios over the weekend and throughout the week to be prepared and clear on what moves we'll make. When it's time to enter a trade, we still consult each other, but not always since we aren't always together. So sometimes the decision is made individually, but when we are side by side, we always talk it through completely to be sure we're on the same page and making the best possible decision.
Great. At your academy, do you both teach the same material or do you each have your own style? You said you trade to live, not to stay glued to screens. Can you explain how you make trading both effective and enjoyable? How do you balance the technical parts with keeping it fun?
Yes. For us, it's really about exactly what you mentioned. We trade to live our lives, not to be glued to screens all day long. So our approach focuses mainly on a top-down analysis of the higher time frames, which helps keep things manageable. The lowest time frame we use is the 1 hour chart, mainly for precise entry points, but I personally prefer trading the 4 hour charts as well. Usually I hold positions anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. This style is a bit special in Forex since while you see similar long-term holds in some stock indices, not many people handle it that way in Forex markets. So in that sense, we're somewhat unique, at least my approach is. I call it more of an investment style method of trading Forex. It might sound unusual or even a bit out of context to some, but it works well for me. Actually, Sebastian uses a pretty similar method, and he's refined his to focus more on minimizing drawdowns, making it even more effective and tailored. So yes, it's an approach that suits our lifestyle and mindset perfectly. We focus on adapting our trading method to fit the specific requirements of different prop firms, using one strategy with two distinct entry styles to match their criteria perfectly. It can be effectively used with a smaller drawdown by carefully refining your entry points, or alternatively, by just taking a quick, simple look at it once a day to stay on top of things without too much hassle.
The system we have now is something we've refined over years, mainly from my input focusing on prop firms. We've merged everything into one solid system, but with two key differences, two distinct entry methods we use depending on the situation.
We're basically grateful that prop firms came along because I couldn't succeed with my own trading style before prop firms existed. We started using the challenge from prop firms right when Sebastian came on board and really started diving deep into it. At first, I wasn't comfortable risking a large amount of capital for him, so we decided to adjust and tailor our trading style specifically to fit the challenge conditions set by these firms. Even though we approach things a bit differently, our styles complement each other well. We each have slightly different drawdown settings, which reflects our individual ways of managing risk and market behavior. This combination has actually helped us balance out our strategies and improve our overall performance under these specific challenge requirements.
Great. Of course, trading isn't just about profits or chasing fast money and flashy cars. Losses are part of the game. Sooner or later, every trader encounters them. How do you cope mentally with those setbacks? What strategies do you use to handle losses and prevent them from affecting you too deeply? Between you two, who do you think is mentally tougher? I'd guess Sebastian, since he was a pro athlete and sports often build resilience. Could you share your approach to dealing with losses? Do you calm each other down when things get tough, or do you rely mostly on your own mindset?
I'd say our losses now are at least half of what they used to be. Sports really help with that. As I mentioned before, sports teach you a lot about life, and mental strength is a huge part of trading. A successful trader always needs to have their head in the right place. My dad was an athlete too. He played soccer, but I think I'm the calmer one. Recently, I've noticed that if something happens outside of trading, I tend to stay pretty calm and handle it on my own. I rarely get truly angry or upset. Our system is designed so that even if we hit a loss or go into the red, it doesn't throw us off. We stay composed. Everything is balanced, so it's rare for us to actually get upset. Of course, I'm human. I can get mad or annoyed sometimes, but I try to keep my emotions in check. It's all about having strategies that protect not just your money, but your mind. That mental edge is critical, especially when facing challenges or setbacks. Maintaining that calm focus helps us recover quickly and keep pushing forward despite the occasional tough day. I know, just make sure to keep it balanced like this, perfectly balanced.
You can't really say we're angry or upset because mistakes happen to everyone. But if you have clear things set up beforehand, even if you don't actually use, say, a stop loss, you still have a mental stop loss. You know your limits, like how much you can actually afford to lose. And that's your boundary. That's what I always tell myself. It helps me stay calm and focused even when things don't go as planned. Losses are a natural part of life. They happen in everything you do, whether it's trading, running a cafe, or managing a store. Something will inevitably go wrong sometimes, and you just have to accept that and keep moving forward. I spent 10 years working with fruit and veggies, learning from losses when stuff went bad and couldn't be sold. So both sports and selling produce are super tough mentally. Sports for the mental side, and initially, I started selling fruit and vegetables from a financial perspective, but I faced significant losses. Then trading came into the picture, which made mental preparation absolutely essential. With my clients, I prioritize personal connection above all else. I take the time to really understand who they are, what truly matters to them, and whether they genuinely know themselves. The mental preparation helps tailor their trading style specifically for each individual because it's not about following some fixed system rigidly. Instead, we focus on adapting the trading method to suit the person's unique needs and personality, ensuring it aligns with who they really are. It's a very personal process, emphasizing that trading isn't one size fits all, but deeply personalized and flexible. Buy, sell, stop loss, use whatever strategy suits you best. When do you usually trade? Morning, evening, night shifts, afternoons, or planning to go full time? It's about building a personal connection and preparing well. But most of all, it's psychological readiness, knowing how to handle drawdowns, how much you're willing to lose, and having the discipline to stay consistent over time. Honestly, if you have a mortgage, it's best not to start forex trading.
Very interesting mix. Fruit, veggies, skiing. Honestly, I didn't expect us to end up there, and you really surprised me. At first glance, you'd think Roland might be the cooler-headed trader, but it seems like it's the other way around. That's a big surprise for me. One last thing. What have you learned from each other? One or two things, trading related or not. Maybe one from trading, one not. How did these lessons impact your approach? Feel free to elaborate.
Speaking for myself, Sebastian has a couple of years of live trading experience, including working with real money and earning some impressive payouts through prop firms, even while he was still a student. Meanwhile, I've got over 22 years under my belt. I've gone through the highs and lows, losing my own money at times, learning to protect what I had, and gradually getting to a point where trading became my full-time livelihood. It's not about flashy cars or showing off, it's really just my lifestyle, something that fits me perfectly. The key thing is that this career has given me freedom and a tremendous amount of flexibility, which I value deeply. And what I've learned from Sebastian throughout our time trading together is a remarkable sense of calmness and steady focus, which has been incredibly inspiring and beneficial for me. What's really important in life itself, not just in trading, is knowing your priorities and finding balance.
And Sebastian, from your dad?
I really believe that everything we learn, especially the core values and lessons throughout life, largely comes from our parents. They shape not only who we are, but also how we face the world. Looking back, I realize I wouldn't be where I am today without my mom and dad's support and guidance. If I had to pinpoint one key thing they passed down to me, it would be humility and modesty. Honestly, though, I'm still working on that myself because sometimes I feel like I fall short. So yes, humility stands out as the biggest lesson for me, and it's something I constantly strive to embody every day in all aspects of life.
I'm actually teaching you humility. Don't be modest, never be modest. I want a lot, I want everything, but humbly.
Yeah, sure.
That's a great mindset for trading. One final question. Do you think you could still work separately? Like if you split up and each traded on your own, could you handle it? Or do you think you actually get more out of working together? Roland has experience with live accounts, and Sebastian has a background from prop firms, which you've called a real game changer in trading. So, what's your take? Could you manage solo, or is the teamwork where the real strength lies?
No, I'll answer that first. The academy we're running is really a perfect blend, but honestly, we could definitely handle ourselves just fine without it. If we decided to split up and go our separate ways, it wouldn't be a big deal at all. We're not bound together just because of the academy or anything like that. We genuinely enjoy sharing what we know and helping others when they ask for it. But if it comes down to it, I'm confident we could each succeed completely on our own. In fact, I believe working independently is totally doable and wouldn't affect us negatively. So yeah, whether we stay together or not, we're both capable of making it work.
Anything you want to add to that?
I've been independent since I was 12 when I started traveling abroad alone for sports training. Whether in trading or life, I believe being self-reliant helps you face challenges and grow stronger every day. It's completely fine from both sides.
All right, great. Thanks a lot, guys, for coming on and chatting with us here at the Fintopcast studio.
Thank you very much. We truly appreciate it sincerely.
Great. As for Sebastian's strategy and how he managed to get 7 payouts on Fintopcase, we'll have a separate interview. It'll be on Fintopcase's English channel, so definitely check it out. Take care. See you.
Thanks.